All right, we are live. Welcome everybody back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host Rattlesnake, coming at you live once again from the Snake Pit in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Joined by my co-host Dakota. What up, Dakota?
What's up, everybody? Dakota Drake 4 coming to you live from South Atlanta. What's up, everybody? We are post Throwback weekend, post Darlington. Got a lot of heat to talk about, and we got a little special thing coming up this weekend to talk about too. Let's get this thing going.
Let's do it. What's up? It's Chairgatin coming at you live.
Hello, come right in. Rock, flag, and eagle.
Of course, I didn't have like Twitter ready or anything.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, what's up? I've been frozen ever since you hit go.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, it was the intro video.
Yeah, we're still live. Fuck.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm frozen on my screen. I'm frozen right now, but I can talk.
No, you're good. You're not frozen at all.
Oh, it's probably my shit computer.
Probably.
I did. If you didn't catch us earlier in the week, I was on the Fast
What
Car
up?
Living. I was on the Fast Car Living show, and I didn't lag once. And David lagged on their show, and I was like, yeah, loser, you're shitty lagging. And then now, like right now, I'm frozen on my computer. I'm sure it'll catch up eventually. But anyways,
we just got a comment from Nick saying, "Damn it, Dakota."
is it am I lagging, Nick?
You're not for me. Yeah, Nick, let us know if he's lagging for you. If I sound congested or something, I think I am. Like, I think I'm sick. So yeah. I apologize for having to do this. I'm not sure. I thought it was just allergies. Now it seems I might be legit sick. So fucking North Wilkesboro, man.
Came back with Wilkesboro bird flu, dude.
Came back with something. Yeah, no, not lagging for me. Yeah, all good. Yeah, you're good on everybody's.
Oh. So well, now it's trying to catch up. I can tell it's trying to catch up. If you can see me, people, that's all that matters. Dude, what's up, man? Yeah. Well, how'd you get bird flu? You went to North Wilkesboro?
Yeah, having to see you is all that matters because you never have any good opinions, so we don't need to hear you.
Oh God, that is true.
I got a summer cold right now. Yeah, it's probably just something like that. I just woke up from a nap, so that's why we're running late. Sorry. Yeah, I just feel like shit. But North Wilkesboro was a fucking blast, man. Look at this shirt, by the way. Tell me how sick this shirt is.
Oh, dude, fresh KFB and WB shirt.
That's clean, right?
Freshy. I got a fresh ass new Kevin shirt, and I thought about wearing it to the show, but I was like, I'm just gonna wear it Sunday.
Well, you have another new fresh Kevin shirt, and it's here at my house.
Oh yeah, I still need some money.
Have you not paid me for that bet? Yeah.
No, I was driving, and I was
if you shoot me some money for shipping,
you paid me for YouTube.
Wait, didn't I? I thought I did.
No, you paid me like 2 months ago.
Whatever, dude. That was definitely maybe for last month. I don't know. Yeah, I'll ship it to you though. I'll ship it to you.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe I'll see you next week.
What up, y'all?
I'll twist your arm until you come. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, I know.
The Dalton's gonna be like, dude, ship me that shirt. I'll pay you.
Here's the thing, Dalton. I actually thought about buying you one, but I had already spent so much fucking money that I was like, I don't think I can do it. I know Dalton would like send me the money back, but I was just like, I'm already fucking tapped out. So sorry, Dalton. I did think about you though.
I did think about you after I thought about myself.
Well, yeah, of course. I don't like it that much.
Duh.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I like it because it was the only Cup driver that I saw there that had the All-Star North Wilkesboro logo on the shirt. And I was like, well, hell yeah. That's fucking sick.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm having Travis pick me up one. Okay, perfect. All right. As long as you got somebody that can get
Dalton will do it, and then he'll like go to a race in 2 weeks, and it's like you could have just got it there. I was worried about the 29 merch, like they were only gonna have it there. I'm sure they'll have some.
They might only have this here. The people at the RCR hauler said they're like, this is probably gonna sell out. They got sent the box Wednesday morning. They didn't even know it was showing up. They just put it on a hanger like outside the hauler, and they're just like, it's $30. So yeah, they actually might sell out of these.
Yeah, I'm never one to be like, dude, give me that, because I go to races every couple of weeks. But
I tried to get you that fucking autographed Kevin Harvick.
No, hell no.
I
saw people bitching about the regular. They're like, dude, this diecast is $125. I was like, forget getting autographed.
Yeah, the Harvick. Yeah, okay. So I have Dakota on the phone. I'm like walking up to his, because he has a separate hauler with his like Cars Tour, his 29, like all the throwback stuff, like just all his stuff, kind of like how Dale Jr. has that Sun Drop one. That's what Harvick had at North Wilkesboro. So I have Dakota on the phone because he's like, dude, you got to go grab me one of these. I was like, all right, cool. I was thinking like $100 or maybe 150. Oh, I'll come in. I'm like, yeah, how much for those autograph, Kevin? First, I asked if they have any more, and they say yes. And I was rolling in late. It was already like 1 p.m. And so I was like, oh, that's weird that they still have them. And I asked how much, and he said 250. And I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, no. Never mind. Actually, and you just walk away.
Yeah, I kind of did. I came back and bought you the shirt though. Yo, what up? What up?
Yeah. What's up, dude?
And get some free. Yeah. So North Wilkesboro, that was fun. I was there for work. So it's not like all fun and games, right? During the day, I actually was working, and I was only there Tuesday, Wednesday. I got there Monday night, so I was there for all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday. I got to watch the races. Tuesday, obviously, the rain came and pushed the ASA race.
Yeah, Storm looked wicked from people's pictures and stuff.
Dude, okay. I mean, I guess we can talk about Darlington, and then I'll discuss North Wilkesboro because that's coming up, and I just want to talk about how like it's gonna be a fucking shit show this weekend from what I saw. But we can talk about that when we make predictions and stuff for North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
We had a race at Darlington though.
Yeah, I guess we should slide through old lady in black before we go anywhere.
I mean, we definitely should. It was a fucking.
I guess do we start to the whole weekend because it's the spring race Darlington.
Work in air quotes. Yeah, that's true.
The spring race Darlington seems to me like it's like a Southern 500 Junior.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say diet. Like Southern 500
yeah, diet Southern 500. And because it's like that's what it wants to be. However, it is not the Southern 500. It's a 400-mile race, and it's just, it's all right. It's you get everything you want in a Darlington race. You get fucking the throwback weekend. You get some good racing here and there. The sun's out. Still think this race should enter the lights. I think if we're at Darlington, there should be some sort of sunset feature and nighttime.
I mean, a Darlington sunset is incredible. I know that sounds weird.
It's something about South Carolina.
Yeah, it's weird. When you actually sit there and watch it, you're like, oh shit, it really is beautiful. Like everyone tells me this every year, and then you sit there and you see it, and you're like, whoa, it's the whole sky.
It's the first sunset you see before the rest of the country.
There you go. That's a good point.
Dude, like that does Darlington. So like truck race was gorgeous. And then, but hey, we get some hot slick lady in black, and it's like it's kind of like, oh, this is cool and all, but like, God, man, it'd be nice if we were like in and out of the lights.
Yeah,
is what it is. But man, I don't know if like the racing would have been any better under the lights. Maybe, but it's like
maybe
I don't
with the cool track.
I don't know if it being so wore out, hot and slick really even did anything.
Yeah.
The first stage got really strung out. And Martin Truex dominated. Then we get the second stage, kind of the same. We get some good racing there. Towards the end, they caught some lap traffic, and I took a moment, like they kind of did crank it up or something for a minute, and they just like zoomed out, and it was like Truex, Larson, freaking Chastain, Kyle Busch, Byron. Yeah. And it was just like all the heavy hitters that you'd expect to kind of be up front at this race were up there like under a blanket, like just.
Although Bubba was fighting up there as well.
Bubba had a good car.
I mean, we have to address Bubba. Like he actually he's
been clocking off some top fives,
but he can't seem to get it done. I don't know. That's all I'll say about Bubba.
Well, you keep these going, it might come sooner and later.
That's true. I mean, neither can like Ross, so I guess I shouldn't say too much.
Yeah, Ross hasn't won in a year.
Yeah,
go figure.
He's the best driver to not win in a year because he is damn good every fucking track. He's always up there. I think
the win's coming for both those guys, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, it was just those guys were ripping the fence, and it was like, oh shit, man, look at this! Like these guys are going at it. And Bubba. Oh no, that's
like this one. Dakota is slowly transitioning into a Bubba fan. That's great.
That is absolutely not happening. I will give credit where credit's due, but we're not above.
I mean, we joke about Bubba and like how many haters he has, and he definitely does. I'm not pretending he doesn't. I boo him when he.
A bunch of racist fans.
But I was right across. My booth was set up right by Bubba's hauler, and there was a bunch of fans buying merch. There was a bunch of fans taking photos, like, with the giant head on the hauler, like with their thumbs up. Like, he has a big fan base. Let's not pretend that he doesn't. He has a lot of haters, but he has a giant fan base.
Yeah, I heard he was getting a bunch of booze. Oh my god, what a sentence. But then for some reason, Martin Truex was running down Chastain for the stage win of stage 2, and for some reason, instead of like, hey, I'm gonna get in there and like we're gonna duke it off a 4, maybe I'll get him, maybe I'll finish second. Truex just like dive bombs it in there, and complete fucking idiot, and just like runs into Chastain into the wall and spins himself out, and then cusses out Chastain, and it was like, that was 100% you, dude. Like,
yeah, that was
what
weird.
Was that
for such a veteran? Too.
I think Truex had the car to beat. Like they got some pit like Chastain was coming along to contend with him, but Truex totally eliminated his race right then and there. He was never the same, got in the back and fought the whole race to get up front just to wreck himself again.
He would have, I mean, where did he end up finishing, actually? Did he DNF?
DNF'd, yeah.
I know, but did you see a couple guys? There was a shit ton of DNFs. Anyway, the point is, his car was a top 5 car regardless. As long as he just kept it clean, he would have been a top 5 for that day.
Yeah.
Regardless of how he drove. Me and Sarah were there. Pretty okay race. Good crowd. Yeah, Larson, we'll get there. And that is something that we will also bring up is everybody we know that was at the race is just like, it was okay, which is weird.
Talking to the fast car boys, they were like, well, we couldn't even see turns 1 and 2. And I was like, well, go goddamn figure.
What? Man, this race sucks. I can only see half of it.
Yeah, I was like, well, that kind of gave me some evidence there.
It is weird though, because we'll give our race rating and stuff, and I think everybody kind of on Twitter, I don't know what Gluck's poll was, but it seemed all pretty positive from what I saw.
Like 84% or something.
Yeah, it's weird that the people there were like, it was okay. It's always the opposite. They're always like,
I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. Also, is Fox didn't do a terrible job here. Like I mean, Richard Petty, I was like, okay, like back to the race. That was like, where I was like,
it's almost like listening to like a Joe Biden speech after a while.
Yeah, I was like, why are we filming him? Well, that was one problem I had. They came out from commercial and they're like, welcome Richard Petty, and they're just filming them sitting there like talking, like full screen for like 5 minutes, and you just hear like, we're just watching Richard Petty like kind of try to figure out where he's at, and Kyle Petty, and it was like, what is like, there's a race going on. We're green still. I was getting pissed. I was like, do side by side or something.
Do something.
And dude, God, we'll just go right into it. Then they had Carl fucking Edwards come on. And if he didn't drag them through the fucking mud with how appropriate and professional he was,
I thought you were about to bitch about him because the way you said it, I was like, hold up.
So tickled to death to see Carl. I mean, I was like, there he is. That's him. That's him. Look at him. He looks amazing. And then Carl comes in the booth and just destroys, mic dropping everything. He was just so professional and like eloquent with his fucking vocabulary. And Clint Boyer was like, right, Carl, we were out there. And it was like, Carl, you could see Carl like.
I loved how he would like kind of look at him. He'd be like, yeah, okay, anyway.
So anyways, like, these guys, when they're in 1 and 2, feathering the throttle, like, dude, he was talking about racing like he never left. And it was just such a sweet, like, dab into like, wow, I didn't really realize how much I missed Carl Edwards.
Like, yeah, I mean, which obviously goes into the discussion of like, is he going to return to racing, to NASCAR in particular? I don't know. Obviously, did you listen to Action Detrimental?
I wasn't going to give it too much thought.
No. But I was going to talk about. Did you hear the Twitter burner account thing?
Yeah, that cracked me up because Carl has one. He's out here just raping people. Like, yeah, motherfucker.
He's just scrolling like while he's chilling. I was like, you know what? That makes me like him even more. Actually.
Yeah, that does make me like him. That was pretty funny. But yeah, dude, it was so sweet to see Carl, and I appreciate Bill Elliott, but I've never been one to be like, hey, Bill Elliott, yay.
But have you noticed every time he's in the booth, he's surprisingly good?
So that's where I was going. Is when he was in the booth, he was cracking me the fuck up.
Every
he
time
was hilarious. He was like I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah,
and he was sitting there like, children, what are y'all doing? And he was like, look at that. What is this? What the hell is this? And dude, he was saying dropping one-liners that were hilarious.
He makes me like him more when he's in the booth. I'm like, oh, maybe I don't hate him as much as I thought. Yeah,
he was so funny the whole time. He's like, yeah, that's not how you do that. And I loved it. So the Fox broadcast actually was pretty good.
Yep.
For the little I listened,
I liked it. I didn't have an issue with them.
Yeah, and so that was okay. And we get third stage, and we had a little bit of pit strategy versus crew chiefs of like who's going to short pit, who's going to long pit. And Kyle Larson came out on top on that deal and was selling away to 20 to go. And I kind of was like, the race has been so. There's been some good racing, but I was like, if we're just going to roll off to a walk-off Larson win, it comes down a point. And I was like, damn, like I guess I should have guessed Larson was going to win this shit. And then 20 to go, Ryan Newman just backwards in the wall. Like, God damn.
And then I was like, wait, Ryan Newman's in this race?
Yeah, kind of. I was like, oh shit.
I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he even came back.
And so then I was like, oh, this changes things a lot. What's gonna happen here? We had some, pit road wars, and then all of a sudden it's Chastain versus Larson, and I thought it was a great battle. And however, I had a lot of nitpicking here.
Okay.
With what happened. So they restart number 1. I think it's like 5 to go. Or something. It's like 5 to go. And Larson has.
You're talking about like the end of the race now, right?
Yeah.
Not the earlier incidents.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
Okay. Continue.
So Larson
I just wanted to clarify.
Larson gets restarts P1, Chastain P2. They go badass restart going into 1 and 2. And you see Larson just like badoom Chastain into the fucking wall. And right behind that, you just see Martin Truex run out of talent and just fucking dive bomb into Logano and turn himself in the wall in front of the whole field. They all get to wrecking, we'll get to this after I bitch about Larson. Wrecks a whole bunch of cars, and a lot of cars go diving and missing the wreck. Yep. Like 8 cars in the wreck. And then, so they're just kind of filming, Truex spinning out in front of the field on his own behalf. And no one, and Boyer, God forbid, is the only person noticing, oh, he got him. He put him in the wall. Yeah, take some of that. Ha ha. Larson just doored the fuck out of Chastain in the wall. And like, I guess that all is fair in war, I guess, or whatever. And so re-rack him, la-di-da. Larson was actually in the loop and ahead of, Chastain was ahead of him on the loop.
Yeah.
And so now they re-rack, and Chastain takes the bottom and Larson takes the top. And there's a great audio on the NASCAR page of this. And Chastain's like, well, if I take the top, he's just going to wreck me again.
Yep.
So Chastain gives Larson some of his own medicine.
I was going to say, I wish it was hilarious. That's
yeah,
how it ended
and
up.
I was like, fuck yeah, Ross, give it to him. And Ross gets a badass restart. Kind of gives him the love back, but I think he kind of overkilled. You got 2 gladiators at the top of the game going for the win at Darlington here. So I am all like, this is all, it's all on the table.
It's just too much throttle. I mean, he was going
to. Sits there, he doors Larson back, but he kind of sticks with him and goes to the wall with him and turns himself just like Truex did before.
Yeah.
And then Larson pushes Chastain all the way down the back straightaway. And I thought
not only did he not let up,
but I was also like, wow, talk about safety.
Yeah, and he did not let up. From what I understand, he gave it a little extra.
He kept pushing him. Stuck to him, and that was kind of funny, but kind of like, what are we doing?
I mean, I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. Obviously, I'm not like a diehard fan of either of these guys. I don't hate either of these guys either. That's another
I like
thing.
Chastain. I've been, got my eyes on him.
I was gonna say I probably like Larson actually more, but yeah. Definitely.
Well, he's making me like him more and more. Chastain is, and all this hot gossip is just. I'm
until
like,
he talks, and then
I just don't want to be on the bandwagon.
Right.
Yeah.
I just respect Larson as a wheelman. Like he's a champion. He's earned his respect. Whereas like Ross still is kind of.
Well, I was talking to the boys in the group about. I said the thing I hate is I like Larson, It's the Hendrick umbrella.
Yeah,
Larson,
right.
I don't like.
That's why I don't
Larson
like
in the
Larson
5 car.
stuff.
I'm kind of sick of it. And then, time after time after time after time of Larson just cutting people off, cutting their noses, dooring them in the wall, wrecking people, and then being like, dirty motherfuckers. It's like, I've had enough of that. So
yeah,
Larson has just been like kind of doing this for me. I mean, I never knew you could just like publicly come out and like say racial slurs and be the best career decision you ever made in your life. However, respect my boy Larson. I respect him, but him in the 5 car just kind of like, I'm over it. But Chastain's been doing this for me. I've always liked Ross and been like, wish he'd get a break. Wish he'd get a break. 1 car. We're big track house boys. And then this, I'm like, dude, fucking Ross is up here, man. It's just more of, I'm like, get out and be like, fuck him. That's all I want.
He's
my like,
thing.
Hey, he did, after the Darlington thing, he said, I'm surprised Mr. Hendrick even knows my name. I hate it under these circumstances. But yeah, he's like, I wasn't lifting. He's like, I was going for a win at Darlington versus Kyle Larson. He's like, he's like, I probably would have done things a little differently. He's like, but we were going for a win. Yes. Yeah,
Larson
and I was gonna
just
say,
like Ross. Ross.
That's my problem too. Is Larson gets off the hook with all his bullshit.
Well, okay. Here's why, in my opinion, and this might sound stupid. I think Larson is, like I said, he's a champion. He's well respected in every field of racing. He's extremely dominant driver. Everybody loves and respects him.
Clearly a king.
So when he does shit, I think people view it as like there must have been a reason for that. Like he's so smart, like he was, you know what I mean? Or somebody fucked up. But when Ross does it, it kind of looks like either it was a mistake or he's just like,
a piece of shit.
NASCAR,
yeah, dumber than you are.
Yeah, like I think that's the thing. I think it's just like an image thing. When you look at Larson, you're like, well, that's one of the, if not the greatest drivers in racing.
He had a plan
right
there.
now.
Ross,
right, like he clearly knows what he's doing. And Ross still is kind of proving himself. And I think that's kind of part of the problem.
What kills me
Larson already proved himself.
What kills me yes, I think that's a very good point. What kills me in the post race is Mr. Hendrick goes off about Ross Chastain burying his name. And he's like, you can't race you can't just go out here and race the leaders like that for a win. When Larson, the restart before, did the first fucking dooring. It's like, okay, well, your driver literally just did that.
I'm not a huge fan of Chastain, but he's good for the sport. Yeah, and his girlfriend's a huge Larson fan, so that's big. And then also Chastain needs to keep doing what he's doing. Don't change.
So
Larson
that's kind
of you what?
Said from a Larson fan. What's up, Andy?
True. Yeah. I mean, and I think everybody agrees. Denny talked about it on his show. Like everybody's been talking about it. It's like, even if you hate Larson, you don't want him to change. You still kind of like him being who he is. Chastain. Like Larson fans are even like, no, Chastain should keep driving like this because it's just entertaining. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. It's great for NASCAR.
Yeah, I think it's super great for the sport. I'm all for it. But then also it's like, well, if let's keep this ball rolling. I don't want Russ to go out here and wreck everybody, but it's like, I don't want him to pull back the reins either.
Yeah, Nick said, Denny even said Kyle Larson purposely pushes people up and puts them in shitty spots. But
that's he
also said that he respects Larson because and that's coming from a driver. That's coming from another great NASCAR driver. When you listen to him talk about the two people, he's always like respectful of what Larson's doing because he knows how good he is. And I think that's the whole thing with all of this.
Yeah.
They do both wreck people. Larson has earned the respect to be able to wreck people.
Yeah.
Chastain just quite hasn't yet. But I think it's fine. Keep doing it, dude. Keep running fucking people over. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, I don't want to see this kind of I don't want to see like, hey, we're friends now. I want to see like,
right.
Yeah, I'm not taking any shit from that guy.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I want to see.
100%.
Anyways, William Byron squeaks through this deal, comes out.
I almost forgot he even won.
He's restarting again. Oh, you should, because we've been talking about a lot of Willie B here lately, and he's proven us wrong.
Has he though?
No, we've been saying that motherfucker going on fire, and here he is.
Well, is he though?
Yes.
I'm
sold.
Do you view this win like, I'm not taking anything away from him? Look, if my driver won, I would be ecstatic. I'm just saying, like,
Vince was saying it's like he's backing into wins like Bowman.
Kind of, yeah. I don't like being that fucking guy. But
he was up in the top 3 like all day.
Okay, here's the championship 4: William Byron, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, and Kyle Busch. Are you picking Willie B to win the championship
versus that lineup? No.
Yeah.
I think experience comes in. However, some weeks that 24 has been fast.
It has. Yeah,
week.
That's true.
Like track after track, that car's fast.
And I think that's kind of maybe the point is if that was the championship 4, I would put Byron in 4th place. Right now it would probably be Ross Chastain 1, 2, Busch 3, and Willie B 4. But if this was a real race, there's a good chance all 3 of those motherfuckers wreck and Willie B backs into a championship.
Yeah, right.
I can't put it past him at this point. It's what he's been doing.
Yeah, I mean, he was up there all day. He led some laps, and then,
he's always going to be a top 5.
There's been a lot of races he's led the most laps and didn't win. So I think it kind of ebb and flows. Yeah. But back up to the Martin Truex wreck. There's like 4 or 5 cars that get all tangled in it, run into each other. Kevin had a wild onboard video of just like slamming up into this wreck, and they all get a little bit of damage or a lot of damage. Well, the way NASCAR explained it was, the yellow waved and they were all kind of still running into each other, but they go back to this, and then a lot of people dove low and avoided the wreck. So now them people are ahead of the wrecked cars, but they go back to the time of caution with a scoring loop, and all of a sudden those cars that kept rolling went through the wreck and rolled are now ahead of them, and it made it really confusing because I was like, God, Kevin's fucked. Like it's over. We were in 15th. And then it said we were 10th. And then it said we were 6th. It said we were 6th. And I was like, well, I'll take 6. And I was like, I don't know how the hell we're 6, but okay. Like we were in the wreck. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
How that works.
So I guess they were calling it for like when the yellow flag was flown, right? It was like what position you were in.
When are we going to stop going with scoring loops? We have video.
Yeah.
Like video, time of caution. Boom. Freeze frame. He, and he. Are here. Them, and them are there.
The issue though,
the scoring loop's back in 1. He was ahead of him.
The issue though is like those guys that they let go through, even if they're like, well, they're ahead at the time of college. It's like, yeah, but they were in the wreck. Like, at what point are we just letting anybody that wrecks right back in the position?
Come back up here, buddy.
Yeah, it just seems weird in that situation that they were actually involved in it.
Right. It got a little weird, and then those guys ended up getting a good finish out of it. Yeah, that's absolutely accurate.
Yeah, and that's what I don't want to be the guy that's like saying he doesn't earn shit. I'm just saying if I'm a betting man, it's kind of hard for me to bet on Willie B when he wins because of other circumstances, if that makes any sense. Like I would rather bet on Larson or Chastain right now, even though like Chastain hasn't got a fucking win and Willie B is 3.
Yeah.
That's an insane thing to say, wins. I know, but when you watch the race, you're like, no, Chastain like is better. Am I crazy? Is he still leading the points?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I haven't even looked at points since Darlington.
I haven't either. I'm about to pull it up because now I'm curious. Oh wait, Willie B might have overtaken him.
I mean, that would make sense. He got DNF and Willie B won.
Yeah,
and I know Willie
B's Ross is down to 10th. Holy shit!
Damn, I didn't know the points were that close.
Is this? Oh, this is on ESPN. Let me pull up NASCAR.
Yeah, whoa, get off that.
Yeah,
we're talking about Indy or something.
Nope, never mind. Ross is still number 1. I have no idea why ESPN said that. Are you alive?
Yeah. Sorry, I was replying to somebody.
What the fuck? You're just sitting there replying to people in silence during the podcast.
Conducting business.
Jesus.
Money don't sleep, Playboy.
This is your business right now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I was waiting. You were looking up fucking ESPN, dude. Don't get on.
Yeah, that means you gotta talk. I'm Googling shit.
Over here Googling. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I think this goes all the way down the pipeline. I hope these guys keep this speed going. You know, watch Chase Elliott emerge come playoffs, but I want to see this battle all the way in. Ross Chastain versus Hendricks, you know, what's gonna happen?
I love it. I think the Larson Chastain rivalry, I guess you could say, is like the first one that I'm excited about. All the other ones seem like made up.
Yeah, like fake. Just everybody be quiet.
They all seem made up and fake, but like Larson and Chastain just kind of keep going at it, and I love it. I hope I mean, we're going to North Wilkesboro. We're going to a short track. Like, let's not forget, this shit's about to heat up.
That's what I was saying on the Fast Car show. It was like, I said, all this is kind of like week after week of like, oh shit. And I was like, now we're going to the All-Star race, short track, the Wilkes.
With no grip. With no grip. They're going to be getting loose.
If we're going to fucking throw some bows and we're going to fucking door some motherfuckers, let's lay it out here. This is the bull ring here. I don't want to be like, hey, we're all good now. No. This is the race where nothing fucking matters.
Here.
Nothing matters. I don't care if you win or lose. Fucking get out and throw a motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. This is the time to do it. It's a short track. This is your perfect opportunity to just lay it all out. Because then we're going to the Coke 600. Like, you don't want to be doing this shit with the Coke 600.
No.
That
one's a war. That's a war.
That's awful. No one wants to watch that with a bunch of cautions. It's already a 600. Let's do it here at the All-Star short track racing. North Wilkesboro, it's perfect. All of it is coming together perfectly. Even Larson said he loves what Ross is doing on his High Limit podcast after Kansas. That's true. Thank you for listening, Andy Cook.
You got me on that show. Like,
I've been trying to promote it.
Nothing to listen to. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I like Larson to be like, fuck them mother shit.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty good. I like getting more Larson content because you don't get a lot of it with NASCAR. But when you go into the dirt world, it seems like Larson is a lot more opened up and like more of himself. And yeah, the High Limit Room is a great podcast with him and Brandon Sweet, who's like a dirt legend. Also his brother-in-law, by the way.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's the brother. He's the older brother of, what's his wife's name? Anyway, everybody knows his wife, the shotgunning one. That's why she's fucking badass, because she grew up in a dirt family. Yeah, it's a great show, though. It's on Flow, but you can watch it just on YouTube. Also, Flow Racing.
I didn't know the dirt show was going to come on FS1 or Fox. I thought it was.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. Yeah. It was like
I haven't got to watch it. You sent the link. I was like, well, I'm going to keep that for like a drive.
Yeah. But yeah, check out the High Limit Room, because Larson will occasionally kind of break down the cup race that he was most recently in. So it's pretty cool.
And that's the thing, too, is just before Darlington, he was like, Ross needs to keep doing what he's doing. I love it. He's like, Ross is.
Let's hear what he says now.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
Galen, thank you. That is his wife's name. Yeah. They talk about that in episode 1 of Dirt. She's being interviewed and she's talking about her brother Brandon. But
okay.
Yeah, anyway. I mean, should we do a race rating?
Yeah, let's jump right in it. Let me review my last. Well, I can't. It's hard to look back at last year's because clearly I was smoking crack.
I'm not even looking at last year's.
I'm not either. Yeah,
we did Kansas in the 9s, Dover in the 7s, Dega in the 7s, Martinsville in the 4s. Damn, dude, that's a wild turn for NASCAR.
Crazy turn of
I forgot how bad Martinsville was, and then Dega, Dover, Kansas, and then this one. I mean, I'm not saying this is Kansas good, but it was good.
It's hard because I'm like, is the 7s bad, or are we just stuck up?
No, I think 7s are good. I was thinking, okay, you want to hear mine?
Yeah.
I was going to say 7-8.
Dude, I was going to say 7-8.
Let's put 7-8 then. Let's go.
I literally, because I was looking at Dover at 7-9. I thought Dover was kind of a little more spicy. But this one was too. And I was thinking,
That's
funny
because
I'll give it 1 because I gave Dover a 7-9. And I was like, I'll give it 7-8.
I liked this one a little bit better. That's why I was like, okay, I gave Dover 7-6. I'm going to go a couple points up.
I was thinking in my head, I said 7-8.
I think I just also
right in the middle, you know.
So this was one more thing I wanted to talk about with Darlington before we move on. I've noticed, I think my race ratings are terrible and unfair. And anyone that listens, you should not listen to my race ratings, because we were talking about like Fast Car Living. They were there. Cohen was there, and they're like, this race is okay. And I was like, this is one of the best races of the year. But then I thought about it, and I was like, dude, I'm sitting here chilling on my couch, like drinking beers, having just a good day, just a really good day. It was Mother's Day, you know, we're all just like having a good time.
You know, emotions are high.
We went out to eat, you know, we had a big meal, like
positive vibes.
I was feeling good. And I thought about it, and I was like, I had to kind of slow myself down and be like, is this really that great of a race, or am I just in a really good fucking mood today?
Well, I saw people cussing the late race caution. I was like, Ryan Newman's backwards in the fence. Like, there's nothing we can do here.
Yeah.
It's like shit happens. But then it was like, and then all of a sudden they just start wrecking each other and they're making mistakes. But I was like, dude, the carrot is right there in front of them. Like, you put all these fast dogs up front, and they're fucking going at it and making mistakes. Like, we curse these drivers. No one's spinning out. These cars are easy to drive, and then they wreck, and we're like, why are they wrecking? It's like, goddamn.
Do you want them to race hard or not?
Yeah, these guys were balls to the wall going for it. They make mistakes. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, of course.
It sucks, but whatever.
Yeah,
I think I didn't want to say all that. I wanted Ross to win, but it was like seeing two dogs like fucking go at it and take each other out. I'm also for all that.
See, I wanted Larson to win, but I wanted him challenged for the win instead of sail off with it. That's why I was really excited on that restart, because I was like, okay, now Larson's going to have to earn this thing if he's going to win it. Like Ross is going to be racing his balls off. Larson's going to be racing his balls off. Like, it wasn't just going to be like you're walking away with this win. And that was part of the reason I was like, damn, this Darlington's good. So I didn't mind the caution.
Yeah, no, I think that was like a little cherry on top of the race. Like,
exactly.
Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm usually not a fan of like late race cautions, but this one seemed warranted. It was all organic. There's no reason to be upset about it. So like, yeah, I hate the bullshit ones, where it was like somebody kind of got loose. Oh, there's debris randomly, just to make it interesting. Yeah, that sucks. But this one, I thought that was fine. It was a good finish to a race.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my race rating. Don't listen to it.
That's my race rating. Don't listen.
It's probably not accurate. But I mean, I gotta say, for our ratings, we had Bristol in the 5s, Martinsville in the 4s, low 4s. I think that's the lowest we've like ever rated a race, maybe Texas. And then Dega, high 7s, Dover high 7s, Kansas 9s, which it never happens.
Yeah,
and now
that's
Darlington
rare.
high 7s. Like, NASCAR's been fucking on it.
Hell yeah.
Are you even listening to me?
Yeah, I am.
At this point, are you just
I think
if you need to take a phone call, just do it
I've
on
also
air
been drinking. Yeah.
And I'm hoping with North Wilkesboro now, they just keep this going. Because if they can keep this streak alive,
I hope there's a fight at North Wilkesboro.
If they keep this hot streak alive at North Wilkesboro, we're going to the Coke 600, which last year was probably the best race of the year. So
that's one thing I was thinking about too, because I remember how hyped you were about, like, dude, the race was amazing. I want to go to Charlotte. And I was like, we're having some fucking heaters going into the Coke 600. I don't want to get my hopes up, and Coke 600 ends up being like a shit show.
Right? Yeah.
But then I'm also like, I don't think the Coke 600 is gonna let me down.
It didn't last year. I mean, look, Auto Club wasn't quite as good as it was last year, but it was still a really good race. So if we get the same thing with the Coke 600, if it's like, well, it wasn't as good. It wasn't like we're not going to rate it like in the high 8s. But if I'm still rating it like a 7.8, 8.2,
still positive.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that Sunday. So I think that's what we're going to get.
Yeah, I think. And then I think North Wilkesboro, no matter what the race is, I think it's going to be special with everything the track is and everything just about it. Just soak it all in. But then going to the 600 is going to just be like, and we're back.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, now we're going back to reality. I mean, I can talk about North Wilkesboro a little bit if you want.
Speaking of North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
I want to hear all the tea. Like, how was it when you first pulled up? How was it walking around that place? Was it like seeing a ghost?
Yeah. Okay. So I've driven past the racetrack probably like
I remember you telling me, like, yeah, I just passed it.
Yeah, I pass it all the time. If you drive the way I go, at least, what's that interstate? 40
I have no idea. I really don't know a lot about North Carolina.
421. Well, this is to the people in North Carolina. They'll know what I'm talking about. So if you're going down 421 and you're going to the mountains, you drive through Wilkesboro, the town. And it's one of the few towns with like anything there. There's like a couple of restaurants and stuff. So you always know when you're driving through it. And it is built on the fucking line of that highway. Like that big like wall that says like, North Wilkesboro, the painted on one, like outside the racetrack.
That's the one we posted on the video?
No, that's the one inside the racetrack. Anyway, it literally goes like right next to the highway. So I've driven by this place so many times, and it's always, they left that paint decrepit and stuff. So it just looks like a rundown old racetrack.
Yeah, why is that shithole still sitting there?
I mean, for NASCAR fans, it's cool, but yeah, if you're not a NASCAR fan, I imagine you drive through that town and you're like, well, that fucking piece of shit needs to come down.
God, they need to bulldoze that place.
They're like, oh yeah, the fucking Appalachian Mountains, am I right? They probably make meth there too.
Dumbass redneck NASCAR.
So I've driven by it 100 times, never been able to actually like go. So, you know, I don't know what I'm expecting, but I go and I'm walking around it, and it's just, you know, incredible. It's almost like Darlington in its like size, you know what I mean? It's not like big like Bristol or Talladega. Yeah. It's a much smaller track, but I kind of like those tracks. Like I love Darlington. Yeah. So I was just walking around it just in awe because I was like, this is awesome. I fucking love this track. And then when you walk in, they have that wall that I sent you the thing of, and they left it all old. So it's really I
just love that they did that.
I've never been to a professional sports arena or anything where they've kept so much of the history with new shit. It's insane. It's like the coolest thing because it you know, there's the old seats on like front stretch and they're like rusted and they probably should change those. I don't know why they left those actually. They're pretty busted. But it's cool though because I went to go sit in one just so I can be like, damn. Like people used to sit here and watch like Richard Petty, you know, when races.
That's the way I felt. I was like, and I love that they like it's the old surface. That's the surface from '96,
right?
Like they drove on this.
But then they add grandstands with like nice new seats, so you can sit over there too. You know what I mean? And that's what I did later. And so it's just a perfect blend of like old, historic, rich with this history with new, upgraded. It's nice, you know what I mean? It's not just like an old shithole because that's the thing. If they did just leave it all,
imagine if they go and you're like, what the fuck?
And they're like, well, we left it the way
rusty bolt. Yeah, the rusty bolts are falling out.
Y'all said you wanted Wilkesboro. This is Wilkesboro. We didn't clean up trash either. It's just the bums are still here. So
I found an old cigarette.
So everything was nice and clean. You know, it was almost like
looks like Field of Dreams, man.
It's like, almost like Daytona, how like nice and clean shit was, but also kind of like Darlington or Dega with like the old, you know, history.
I remember I was watching that broadcast last night and they were like kind of just like panning like from the backstretch it was like 1 and 2 and they were panning from backstretch like the grandstands kind of like intermission style.
Yeah.
And I remember like off the side of the suites, a floodlight kicked on or something. Like it was the dusk, like it was going from transition to the sunset.
Okay.
Floodlight kicked on, and I was just kind of in my head of like what I do. I was thinking like, yeah, they went in like this old building and totally restored it and like ran all new wiring and like new lights and stuff. But it's like it was just cool to see like, yeah, updated technology on the old. It's like old hot rod. You're seeing like this old hot rod with a new paint job and new wheels. Like, nice.
It's beautiful, but like has all the nice new shit too. It's not just like an old beat up car anymore. That's how it was. Yeah, I went up in the press box and like when you look at it from the outside, it's still like the shitty old little press box area. But when you go inside, it's been all restored and they have like a bar or like not like a bar, but you know, like a food bar up there for people and it's all nice. So you're like, oh shit.
It looks like they've dumped some money in that motherfucker.
Yeah, 100%. It was the coolest experience at a racetrack I've ever had. And photos and videos just don't do it justice, which is unfortunate.
That's why you got to tell me, you're like, dude, I know these videos suck. And I'm like, I'm sitting there watching videos like, oh.
I know, but I was like, it sucks that you can't see this. I was like, I wish you were here with me because you would appreciate all of this too.
I've been giggling.
It was like Bristol, but you're actually able to see the mountains. It was incredible. I'm sitting at 1 and 2. This was Wednesday night. Yeah, for the cars. And I'm just looking out and it's just the mountain range and the sun is setting and like turning the sky orange like Darlington sunsets. And I was just like, holy shit.
Well, they
I was like, this is the prettiest thing I've ever seen.
They kind of like were like beautiful North Carolina here in Wilkesboro County, and like they kind of just panned across like the track looked little and they kind of panned across the horizon. And then they were joking because then they like filmed the sun like at the horizon like going down. And one of the announcers, I don't know who that was announcing, but he was like, "Oh, the moon tonight," and the guy was like, "That's the sunset," and he was like, "I didn't even know that was the sun." Like he was like, "Oh, my bad." They were like joking about it.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad that they showed it. because it would actually look good on TV at least, because their cameras can my iPhone's not going to pick that shit up. So I'm glad at least people got to see it at home, because I was like, people need to know how pretty this racetrack is. It was just the craziest thing. It's worth all of it.
And from what I see from everybody's posts and stuff, it looks like really accessible. Like you can kind of just walk around.
Yeah, so
like down by the fence, around the place, kind of you can just like walk.
Yeah, you can, but I'm worried come the weekend.
Sundays I think that place is gonna be packed.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So
I'm kind of like people, as the offers we got to go. I'm kind of not mad that I'm not gonna be there. As cool as it would be, I think it's gonna be a huge headache.
Yeah,
getting in and out of that motherfucker.
Right, and it will be. So I was working as a vendor, and so I had like the vendor pass, vendor parking, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Usually vendor parking is like close to where the vendors, like where you have to actually set up, but it was like miles away. It was on the other side of the highway. You had to walk over a bridge, across the highway, all the way around the track to the front stretch.
A bridge?
You what?
You had to go across a bridge?
Yeah, over a highway.
Oh shit!
I'm not joking about it. It was insane. Usually the vendors are there early enough that there's just empty golf carts and they'll take you. But when fans start showing up, there's like a line for the golf carts. And if you're a vendor, you're like, I can't fucking wait in this line. Like, I got to go back to the booth quickly. So that was a bit of a bitch. And I was like, this is parking for vendors. What does that mean for fans, dude?
Yeah. They better get a damn shuttle going and keep that motherfucker fuel.
And when I was driving to the vendor parking, going through just open farmland and stuff, because it's just way out in the country, and there was signs that said $80 for parking.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's gonna be horrendous.
Well, I imagine like, I don't know. I think shit like that's bullshit, but it's also like these people can try to make some money. Like why not?
I don't give it. Yeah,
why are you gonna hate on them for trying to make $1? But it's
100%.
also like, come on, you motherfucker. But then it's like, hey, I mean, get it how
good
you
for them.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if they don't make any money, they're gonna lower the price. You know what I mean? It's only that price because people are willing to pay it. So if you're gonna be mad at anybody for the price, be mad at the people paying it, because you're like, what the fuck, dude? If we all would have just like not paid them that, the next day it would have been $50. So that's gonna be just horrible. I don't know what they're gonna do, because I was like, this is vendor parking, and it was one of like 5 parking lots. And it was the biggest one.
I remember old Bristol days. You used to have to park like 3 miles around the corner.
That's a good point. You know what? Bristol's similar to that, actually.
You used to have to park miles from the track. You couldn't see the track from how far away you parked. And they had like shuttles of buses, like you get on and tip them, and they would drive you to the track.
Yeah. Yeah. Bristol's actually a good comparison. And I think it's because they're both in mountain towns, so there's just not a lot of like space for parking.
So many good tracks. So like in beautiful areas up there.
Yeah, it's like a national park, right? It's like it's beautiful because there's not a lot of people there. One of the best parking, actually, which is like right behind where the vendors were set up, and apparently that's what they used to use for parking, is where they set up for the concerts, like Dierks Bentley. I don't know.
I think they talked on the broadcast last night about how they're having concerts every night out here.
They have a huge stage. It looks like a music festival.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
It's on like
I haven't seen anything about it. I've just heard.
Yeah, it's on like a grass hill. And so you could like stand way far away, but because it's a hill, you can still see the stage perfectly.
Well, good planning.
It's honestly, it looks sick. It's going to be a lot of fun if you're there, like camping, because it's right by the campgrounds too. Like the RVs are like lined up next to it. It would be a lot of fun. But that means they lost like their biggest prime parking lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're more people forced out.
That's only like the only thing it kind of seems like it'd make sense for this weekend would be to go there and camp. How close is the camping 100%. To the track?
It's right close, at the track. Right at the track.
That'd be the only thing that made sense.
You can see the track from your camping.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely have done that.
When we say early, we mean days, dude.
when I say early for this event, I mean you should have been there Monday, because camping was already filling up.
That's wild.
It was wild. I've never seen something like this. I was going there like, okay, I'm going to this NASCAR track. I know it's a big deal, but I'm also going there Monday through Wednesday. Like no one's going to be there. You know what I mean?
No.
I was like, we have some events.
The crowd looked good last night.
That's the thing. I did not expect it to be as big as it was, and they were all there. Everybody I talked to at the booth, I always ask them, like, "Are you here for the week?" And they're like, "Hell yeah, staying all week."
Yeah, that's
And like
wild.
everybody that was there was staying there like through the week, unless they were working. But the vendors like RCR and all those haulers, they have to stay all week.
Right.
But it is only like an hour and a half drive from Charlotte, so it's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, them, they're like, "Yeah, we'll go there."
Because I think a lot of the drivers are actually going back home. Like they went back home today,
Oh, I'm sure.
and they'll hang out back at home and then just come up for the weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. If they keep this on the schedule, which I know they are, because they were renewing tickets, for how long? I don't know. I think this will be on the schedule indefinitely, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
Eventually,
think this clearly is gonna be like a marketing goldmine and unlike, we never even talked about, Throwback Weekend.
oh yeah, that was the whole point of this episode.
Yeah.
I literally
Is,
named the episode that so we could discuss
unlike
that.
Throwback Weekend maybe losing its luster is like, I think this has got a solid 10 to 15 years of gold.
Well, because it has the fan support.
Yes.
It's only an
Yes.
hour and a half from Charlotte, big city, a
Yeah.
lot of NASCAR fans and stuff. It's close to Virginia, close to
So
Tennessee.
much history. I like
Yeah.
I don't
It's
wanna
the heart
say
of NASCAR fan
I
base. Like,
think
it's perfect.
we could just probably cut I don't know. The All-Stars its own little thing. I'd be fine with this having a regular date, but
That's what I'm
it
saying. I
does
think it
kinda
needs to
make
get a
a
regular
special
date.
it does make but I'm also cool with like, hey, let's take the All-Star needed an identity. The All-Star
No, that's
needed a
fine.
revamp. So it works, but I also am like, "Do we need a spring Darlington date?
Yes, I
Do we
love
need a
this. I
spring
like where
Darlington
you're
date?"
going with this. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Because
could
and it's
we
a
just
similar
kinda mesh this, whether it's All-Star or regular season race? Let's just hey, Throwback needs a revamp. We're going to Darlington was the old school lady in black. Well, we got an older lady, and
yeah.
she's still spry, young bucks.
And they're
So,
only, like, maybe 4 hours apart, 3.5 hours maybe, so you're getting a similar, like, area at least. So it's like, well, Darlington lost it. It's like, yeah, but if you live somewhere around Charlotte, you can just drive an hour and a half the other direction. You still get a race that date.
yeah,
You know
I
what I
think
mean? Like, for
yeah,
me, I would be okay with that, and I live
yeah.
closer to Darlington, and I would be like, "Yeah, that's fine, I'll drive to North Wilkesboro." But what I was gonna say is, like, I'm okay with it being the all-star race, that's fine, but
Mhm.
kinda like the throwback thing, after a while, it is gonna get old, you know what I mean? We're gonna wanna change it to something else, so if that happens, I just wanna make sure that North Wilkesboro gets a date, like, gets a solid
Well, I
date
was
if
telling our
they're gonna
boys
change it.
Andy and David, I was like, we were talking about has Throwback ran its course, and they were saying like, yeah, fuck Throwback, and I was kind of pitching the idea to them about I think Throwback has kind of gotten muddied down and diluted, and I also think like
That's a
replace the
good point.
stringers through
Replace the
Rockingham.
stringer with Rockingham. That's a good point.
Girl, you spitting facts.
Let's lose like a Texas. I don't know. We'll
I
figure
don't
it out.
know. There's some things to be
There's
figured out,
something we can
but
figure
I
out.
don't want to sit here and be like, I'm tired of Throwback. We don't need to do Throwback anymore. And then 5-10 years from now, we're like, remember when they used to do those Throwback streams and that
I was
Throwback
gonna
weekend?
say that,
That
dude.
was really
I was
fun.
gonna say
Like,
that. We'd be
it's
bitching in
don't
10 years.
take it for granted, or
Yeah.
count your blessings on. Hey, this is really cool. It's still really cool that we're keeping this going. It's fun. It's fun to see teams get involved. Not all teams are doing it. And seeing some cool a nod to some schemes. I think there needs to be a little more organization with it. I do think maybe like All-Star, the Throwback needs to get a little more serious or get a little more organized. It's just I don't want to sit here and see the Throwback weekend go away and then be like, yeah, well, y'all didn't fucking participate, so we just stopped doing it. And everybody's like,
So
oh.
so did you think this year? Because I hear you, and I want to get to that point. You don't want to see it go away. Did you think this year's throwback was cool? Like, were you like, oh, this interests me, or were you just kind of like, oh yeah, I kind of recognize that painting?
I think there was like 3 or 4 banger paint like throwbacks. I really was like, ooh, yeah, that looks good. The
But
24 under
only
9.
3 or 4, like, out of
Well,
all of
remember, you
them.
used to be like, ooh, look at that one. Ooh, look at that one. Ooh,
Yes,
look at
that's what
that
I was
one.
gonna
The
say. Yeah,
teams wearing pit shirts and all that. Now it's just kind of like,
I
yeah,
used to
we
make
came up with.
rankings on my blog of, like,
Yeah,
top 10, and it would be hard to pick out the best 10 because there were
right.
so many. It's totally different. I mean, Kyle Busch throws back to himself from this season. There's paint
Yeah,
schemes.
that was, dude, RCR was such a letdown.
I I like what Denny had to say about this on his show.
Yeah, I kind of agreed with Denny, but I just think if we let it go away, we're gonna like. Ugh.
And it wasn't. It says first year was lit. It wasn't just the first year. It was a long time. But for the past couple,
like 3 or 4 or 5 years.
The past couple is when it's really started to fall apart. I liked Denny being like, I don't even recognize that scheme because as a fan, some of them I'm like, I have to look this up, and I don't want to sound
unrecognizable
like
schemes. His was to a fucking plane or something,
right? And I don't want to sound like the dumbass being like, well, whose game is that? And then everybody be like, you don't know that one?
Yeah,
but
one's from the 90s, one's from the 50s, one's from fucking milk carton. Like I don't know
this was this was the next thing I was going to mention is what I really liked him saying when they were like, I don't know, maybe we could save it. And he kind of said it in passing. And it's something I've been advocating for since I've started this show, which is a bigger thing. But he was saying, pick a decade, have NASCAR make strict rules. Hey, you can only do a paint scheme from this decade. Sorry. If you're showing up this week, it has to be a paint scheme from this decade. Like 50s.
If you 40s, if you're going to do it, this is what it's got to be.
Yeah. And I think that would help because that's how they used to do it. And I remember a couple years ago when teams kind of started like not listening anymore. And
we're gonna do something else.
I think we joked about that. Even we were like, was there even like a decade anymore? Like who?
Well, I remember it seems like 1 year they were like, this is 94 to 98.
It was the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. And then everybody was like, okay, anyway.
Yeah.
This is a 2001 throwback.
But the 80, like, what was it? It was like 80s to 90. It was like 80 something to 90 something. That year was good. That year had Austin Dillon ran. Was it the silver one that year?
Dude, that's what pissed me off is like RCR had unlimited.
They used to have bangers. And Brad K used to come with bangers with the Rusty throwbacks.
And the 2 didn't even do one this year.
The
3, 8, and 2, they have an unlimited portfolio, and they didn't do any. And it was like, what? Okay, that right there to me was like all right, what are we doing?
Did Legacy do anything?
Yeah, the 42 was a shout out to Jimmy Johnson, all-star scheme.
Yeah,
and the 43 was an old Richard Petty scheme. It actually looked good.
Yeah, because I was gonna say they had the old Plymouth. Out there, like they had a bunch of.
That was one thing that Andy and David talked about was seeing all they never fucking showed it on TV, but seeing all those, they had all those cars come.
They had them all lined up.
Do laps. They had them do laps. They got out there and did pace laps. Came right by their bus, and they never showed it on TV. And I was kind of like, I knew it was going on, but they never showed us on like the broadcast. Like
they have them all lined up. You can sit in Jeff Gordon's car and take a photo and stuff. Like it was a whole thing. You walk all the way down and there's like rows of like throwback cars. It was badass. But the bigger point, because I think Denny's right that would help save this throwback thing. Because I agree with you, Dakota. I don't want to see it go. I just want to see it fixed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to see like, hey, let's stop the bleeding here. Let's get something together. Let's pick up the pieces and get this shit righted.
Right. And I also agreed that Chase Elliott had a badass paint scheme, and I couldn't figure out why. I couldn't figure out why. I was like, is it really just the font of that number just is so good? But I think he made a good point. He was like, no, you recognize the car, because that was back when cars had identity. He's like, you see it and you know it. And he was like, you knew who drove it. You knew the time period.
Every week. That car, when you saw him on pit road line up for qualifying, you could see that car and know who that was. Not, oh, so-and-so's running that this week. Didn't he drop some straight facts?
Show a non-NASCAR fan Dale Earnhardt's car and Jeff Gordon's car, and they'll be able to tell you, like, or at least be like, I know that car. Like, I know it's a NASCAR. I've seen that car before. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's recognizable cars. We don't have it anymore, and it sucks.
Yeah. I think that's like Bob Parker's let that like things NASCAR should bring back.
Yes,
list or whatever.
And that was the car identity.
Car identity, and it's
and I've never had a name for that though, so I'm glad they kind of gave it because I've been talking.
I've never seen Denny run so many different schemes until this.
That's a good point. He was always the example.
It's always been the FedEx, maybe one or two. for some special like charity race, like charity sponsored race or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But this year he's running Yahoo this weekend. He's running different. He's run more different schemes than he's run FedEx. Don't get me started on the 4-car. I don't know. We're running a different car every fucking week. Like I appreciate the nods and special schemes and shit, but goddamn, last time he ran the Bush scheme? I have no idea.
Damn, that's a good point.
I don't know. The regular
I was
Bush
just
scheme.
thinking about it.
I have no idea when the last time he ran it was. I guess Daytona 500. I don't. For what the fuck?
And you know what's sad is I feel
Drives
like
me nuts.
Kevin Harvick used to be a good example of somebody.
Everybody knows what his Goodwrench car looked like. Everybody knows what his Pennzoil scheme looked like.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody knew what his Ford Budweiser car looked like.
And it really sucks because Denny was kind of the last bastion of that with the FedEx car. He ran it kind of every. Kyle Busch a little bit with Mars, but they just changed up every week.
There would be different M&Ms and M&Ms, minis and shit.
Yeah, and it was his yellow M&M car that was iconic. That like people remember when you're like Kyle Busch, you think of that yellow M&M car.
Yeah, I think we just need to, let's not get rid of it. Let's just kind of like, hey, look at what we got and let's redo it. But maybe we don't have to go as hard. Like, hey, we're going to do a throwback weekend. If y'all want to do it, this is it. We're going to do some fun, cool NASCAR 75 shit or whatever. But like, I don't know. If you just have half the people, say you had a costume party. So you had a costume party for Halloween and three people showed up in costumes and the 20 other people just wore regular clothes. You'd be pissed.
You just dropped a heater, by the way. You were just talking about how Denny on his show dropped some heaters. That one was perfect.
I just came to
That
mind.
was the best one you've ever had in Chairgatin history, honestly. I'm so impressed by that. That's such a perfect analogy.
Thank you.
That's such a perfect analogy.
Imagine you had a costume Halloween party or something.
Halloween costume party, and you and two other guys show up dressed up, and everybody else looks normal.
So clearly, this office doesn't celebrate Halloween, and if I take my hat off, I look like Hitler.
I look like Hitler.
She dressed up at the moment.
It's the equivalent of that. That's a good. That's a perfect analogy. I also think what would help because the car identity stuff, but I also think taking away one of the Darlingtons and making the Southern 500 the throwback week again, I think would also help it.
Yeah. Like I was telling them earlier, if anyone saw that episode, is I feel like when we took the throwback and split it from the Southern 500, we got lost in the middle.
Yes,
that diluted the throwback. Because when it was the throwback Southern 500, it was strong, it was good. But when we were like, all right, now this is going to be the throwback, and that's the Southern 500, and they ain't the same, but they're the same race.
And you only care about that one, but this one you look funny.
Yeah, so that's where it kind of got a little.
Keep those separate. Yeah, and I was talking about how they used to be good. All the ones I was talking about was the Southern 500.
Yeah. I even feel like this weekend they're like, but the Southern 500, that crown jewel here.
Yes,
I know we're here now, and this ain't it, but come back for the Southern 500.
But in another couple months, come back because that one's way better. But this is kind of cool too. I think that would help. I think it would be like, here's what they got to do: take away that Darlington race. We don't need it. Let's add Rockingham or North Wilkesboro, whatever we got to do. That's fine. Southern 500 is going back to the throwback. It's the only Darlington race we have, so it's a big deal. It's always the throwback. Southern 500, when you think of Southern 500 now, you're going to think throwback paint schemes. And NASCAR tells them, here's the time period you're running. And I think that makes it better. I think that adds some kind of like, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Structure.
Yeah,
add some structure to it.
Yeah, I agree.
We just solved the problem.
NASCAR, if you're watching, we're giving you all the points.
We know you're watching, you sons of bitches.
You want to pick an all-star winner? Just straight up winner who's winning the all-star.
Oh God, I hate because this is all-star, so that's fucking weird too. And it's a track I've literally never seen anybody race on.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I think we're in for a show.
I don't know, man.
I already know who's winning this shit.
It's probably the playoffs keeping the throwback at the 500. Yeah, it is 100%. That is what it is. The teams want to have their main sponsors be able to run their main logos. This is the big show.
We've paid a lot of money for this.
Yeah, but fuck them. I don't care.
You want
me to buy their product? then shut the fuck up, man. Do a funny paint scheme.
Shut up and suck it. I am going with the guy that wins the first at all these things we fucking do.
Damn it.
I'm taking the 22 car of Joey Logano because this motherfucker, time and time again, when we go to these special events, he gets it done. I think he needs a dub. I know he got Atlanta win, but like he's kind of been running like shit and then slowly getting up. And with 10 to go, he's in top 5 at these races. Kansas, he got up there late, and then here, Darlington Ford Truex wrecked his ass. He was up there late, and I was like, where the fuck did he come from?
Yeah.
I'm taking Joey Logano.
Yeah, I'm looking through a list of drivers now. I don't fuck. That's the best pick. That's by far the best pick. I'm not gonna take William Byron. I'm not gonna take Harvick. He sucks and can't win shit.
Ryan Blaney.
Harvick can't even beat fucking local guys in cars racing.
Give it his best effort. That race kind of frustrated me. I'll tell you later about
it. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. I don't know, man. Who should I go with? You know what? I'm gonna go.
Chase Elliott's gonna win it.
I'm gonna go with Larson.
Can't lose on that one.
Yeah, it's a short track. I think he's gonna be kind of heated from Darlington, and he's gonna come in with a hot head and like be like, I don't give a shit about what y'all say. I'm fucking moving you. This is a short track. Yeah. Like I'm getting. I
feel like the fan votes. I mean, the fan vote and the opens. I think the opens always been good, no matter where we went. I feel like the open here is definitely gonna be. I hope it's gonna be really good.
I just had another good idea for a fucking underdog pick. I know we're not doing underdog picks, but if we were, Ryan Preece.
Yeah. I think Ryan Preece is gonna be a super fucking.
It's not grippy. It's a short track with his
right
background
in his
and modifieds.
Of his style.
Yeah, exactly. With his background in that modifieds, if he's going to be good at a racetrack, it's going to be the LA Coliseum.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
maybe New Hampshire.
Yeah. So if he does win, I'm clipping this. I don't care. I know we're not doing underdog picks officially, but I gotta say it in case he wins.
Hey, all right. I like those. 5 and 22. North Wilkesboro. I think it's gonna be fun, man. Special nod to Kevin. I'm gonna cry a little bit seeing that 29 car.
That's such a pretty car, dude.
Wish I was there, dude. They're doing really good about like showing it and lots of pictures and the Kevin Harvick went to the 29. Like they're doing all this like commemorative stuff, but it's just to me, I'm like, yeah, Throwback was last weekend, so I'm confused.
It's so weird, but that is weird, man.
It is.
I don't understand what's going on.
Cool nod. It's a cool nod.
But the fact that they had the Throwback cars lined up outside the track too, I was like, what is going on, man? Is this Throwback week or not? They're selling 29 Kevin Harvick merch. I'm so confused.
Hello. Yeah, man, I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun race. And hey, we got Friday night pit crew challenge, Saturday night heats with the truck race, and Sunday night fucking race. It's like old school fucking.
You're getting the weekend racing again.
Yeah. I done told Felicia like, hey, this is what we're doing, and that's I can hope Saturday night I got heat races to watch. Fuck off.
It is my first weekend in probably months that I haven't had anything like.
Shouldn't have said that, motherfucker.
I have a Saturday child's birthday party, but that's like during the day. So
those are the worst.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is.
Yeah, you gotta go when you have kids. That's part of the life. Anything else? Picks, race rating? Yeah, we got it.
Well, I think everything's covered. Thanks for watching Chairgatin, and this badass episode was brought to you by Yeats Official.
Yeats.
Check out yeatsofficial.com. Use discount code Chairgatin and check out and get a little 10% off discount. And you can look as cool as us at your next race.
You can even grow a mustache when you put them on. This isn't even a real mustache. This is
I just put it comes with this.
These are when I move the glasses, my mustache moves.
See, that is a damn good looking mustache. But yeah, everybody, we'll holler at your boy and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Hey.